but he's just watching some old, you know.
That's good. That'll be fine. Yeah. Well, shit. What, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to this episode of Over the Top Rope. I have got another second time guest, only one of two to be on Over the Top Rope twice. I got my man HotShot, Hunter Knott.
What is
How we
up,
doing?
everybody?
How you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Like I was saying, man, just squeezed in last second, trying to squeeze some Outer Banks in.
As you should. Pop off king. And I will say, first of only two guests to be back on your podcast. And how fitting for it to be the best tag team TSF.
The best. The best.
We try to be, at least.
Yeah. No, you guys don't have to try.
And that's what matters the most.
Yeah, you guys don't have to try. I mean, you just are, So
Hey, I appreciate that, brother.
yeah, and we'll kind of. Tom's been waiting on this all day. He's been waiting on it since we announced that Tom's hyped. We're glad he's
Tom's
hyped.
good, dude. Tom's a great, great guy. Thanks for being here, Tom. What's up?
Yeah, definitely. Tom, he is the only person. He did it for Grillo last week, and he done it for this show. The only person to ever leave a comment before the show ever goes live. So I'm absolutely down with that, and I appreciate it. And that just says that TSF is a draw. You know what I'm saying?
Again, man, we try. We try. I mean, do you see these stunning faces? What can you say?
What can you say? That's what I'm down with. And speaking of Grillo, anybody that they keep up with you guys, keep up with me, or whatever, they know that Grillo's been sidelined by an injury. How has that changed what you've been doing and how you approach things, going from almost strictly tag team to singles action, and proving to the world that you can do singles? Not that no one ever thought you couldn't, but that you can do singles.
So, I mean, I'll first off start by saying, I mean, that's my brother, man. Like, we started wrestling together. We literally have gained this connection since we started that makes us feel like brothers. So, after hearing that unfortunate news, after he called me on the phone, I was like, what do I do now? Like, we're TSF, and we will forever and always be TSF, of course. But in that moment, I knew that I had him as a genuine support system. And he told me on the phone, he was like, dude, I want you to go out there and I want you to kill it. So that was a lot of motivation and confidence for me to be like, okay, well, I think I can do this, because prior to that, I'm pretty sure I only had like 2 or 3 singles booking, man. Like, it was a whole new world entering into it at first, but I was blessed enough to have a promotion, Anarchy Wrestling, out in Cornelia, Georgia. It's at the Landmark Arena. If anybody is familiar with that, they used to film NWA Wildside out of that. It is known as the house that AJ Styles is built, because that's where he got his comeuppance and all that good stuff. But I got to work a little bit of single stuff there, and I don't know what clicked, man, but it just something felt like it was working. Yeah. If that makes any sense. And obviously I still have a lot of room for growth, but the transition from tag team wrestling to singles wrestling was pretty seamless. And I also credit that to tag team wrestling being such a hard craft to learn, because the amount of psychology and pieces you have to put together in a tag team match it's through the roof, and you really have to understand it to put on a good match. So I think going from that stress level to be like, okay, well, now there's only 2 moving people in this match, which means there's probably a lot less psychology things that have to go on, kind of helped as well.
Yeah, I think you touched on something very important there, is that very rarely is there a match where at some point in a tag team match where all 4 individuals are not in the ring at the same time. So even though you and Grillo are not directly, engaging with each other, you still have 3 other people in that ring that, you have to watch out for, you have to protect, and, make sure they're hitting their mark, you're hitting their mark. And when tag team wrestling is done right, like TSF does, it's like the most beautiful thing in the world.
It really is, man. Like I said, it's an art. It truly is an art, because it's tough to throw 2 singles wrestlers in a tag team together.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't fully, like, if they've never been in a tag team, or if they fully don't understand that knowledge and storytelling that needs to go into it. because it turns into just like, okay, well, let's everybody just get their stuff in. But that's not the beauty to it, man.
Yeah. You're 100% right. You're the
Oh
goat.
my gosh. Is that the Trip Jordy? HotShot Hunter, not the GOAT. How about Trip Jordy, the master of the whip?
Man, Trip hopping in and leaving a comment. That's like
It
top
is.
tier.
It brings the stream up to this level, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He's a star.
Yeah, and I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. I wish I had just like a third of his like charisma and energy.
Man, it comes naturally out of that kid. It comes naturally. I say kid when he's older than me, but I call him a kid.
Yeah.
It's insane because it's just natural. Like that's just how he is. He's just a great dude, and he's able to translate that into the ring, and it works.
Yep. The first time I seen him live at the Nightmare Factory live show here where I met you guys at, I'm just like just from the moment he came out, like the whole time, I'm just like, this kid is just like, I mean, this is like something I've never seen before, and it's just like I was like taking it in, and I was kind of mesmerized by it a little bit, Just it was just like, bam,
The effect he has on you, dude.
Yeah. And in the talk of the singles action, it's really cool when I get to see people from here in North Carolina, and then you guys that I'm friends with wrestle each other, and so I popped hard when I seen that you wrestled Alexander Moss, who uh, trained here and just like 15 minutes away at Firestar, and he's from Firestar. And I think he's amazing. I really do. And it was really cool to see you guys go one on one.
Dude, it was awesome, man. He is, like you said, he's amazing. He is such a good talent, and I encourage people to go check him out if you have never heard of him before, because he has something special. He really does. And that match was, I believe, about a week or two after. I think it was 2 weeks after I dislocated my shoulder. And yeah, I know. So the fact that we were able to tell a story and work around that, and just seeing his character work, that's something special. His character work is phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Not saying he's a bad wrestler, because he's a fantastic wrestler too, but he brings something different to the table, and you love to see that.
Yes, no, I agree 100% with you. When we first seen him, he was Firestar Heavyweight Champion. He kind of had this like uh, heel Sting gimmick where he would come out and the crowd hated him, but he never spoke, he never talked, and the crowd just hated him. And then one day the barrier just kind of broke, and he just came out talking straight trash and had the crowd hate him even more. So when I saw that you guys got together, it was just like, that's like fantasy booking type stuff for me.
Well, I hope I get a chance to wrestle him in the future as well, because like I said, I really wasn't fully 100% at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe we can have a great match if I'm at 100% and he's good to go too. I think we can do something cool.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And kind of piggybacking off of that as well, I know Grillo had mentioned at the last show that you dislocated your shoulder a bunch or quite a few times, didn't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a strange experience because I have never experienced it before.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always curious to what it was like if it was pain, if it was pressure. And I was in the match, and I caught a guy on a crossbody, and it was just a freak accident. I landed funky, and it was a lot of pressure, not a lot of pain, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
pressure. And it just felt like because it literally was, my arm was just hanging. So I ran like another minute, tagged out immediately, let everybody know what was going on. And I rolled to the outside, and a security guy came over, and he was able to pop it back in for me on the outside. So and no, please never do this, guys. It's stupid. Just don't do it. Just go to the back. But I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's freaking go. I'm going back in. I got spots to run. So I tagged back in, and I go to throw a kick because the guy was mean. So I go to throw a kick, and the momentum as I'm swinging my arms just pops it back out again. So I was like, oh no. So did whatever, tagged back out, rolled to the outside of the ring. The security guards are there again. But this time I held on to the bottom rope, and I just went. and put it right back into place. So at that point, I realized it was just smart if I, just took a breather. So I kind of just let it breathe, and they were just making sure it was secure, all that good stuff as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was an experience for sure. Like I said, please, and injuries are very real. Do not do what I did, because that was a terrible decision. But yeah, dude. So that's what's been going on with me.
And so, yeah, how, like, when it happened, were you like, I popped it out of place, or were you kind of like, oh shit, like, did I break it? Did I pop it out of place? Did I dislocate it? Did I fracture it? Or did you just kind of know when it happened?
So, yeah, kind of like you said, I knew what it was when it happened. I've never
Okay.
experienced it before, never felt what it felt like, never really asked anybody what it felt like. But I knew that it was just dislocated. And I don't know what part of my brain just automatically told me that that's what happened, but something just told me, hey, your shoulder's out of socket. And because it didn't feel like a break, it didn't feel like a tear, it didn't feel like any of that.
Okay.
Thank God. Thank God. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I've seen movies of people, putting the garbage bag over their arm and popping it back into place. So I was like, well, I can do it too. It's real life, And again, stupid. Don't do that.
It with the second time when you grabbed the rope and everything, were you like just kind of like a poke and hope situation, like hope it goes back in and hope everything lines back up, or were you pretty confident that you were going to get it back in?
It was kind of just a hopeful situation. I knew the direction it had to go, so that probably helped, because again, I've seen things like that happen before. So I kind of just went in that direction. I was like, whoa, all right, we're good. I can move my arm again.
And you're called the goat once
Let's
again.
go, Alo. Thank you so much.
We'll keep
Yeah,
the
that's right.
goat counter going. You've got two so far.
Bing, 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 bing. Let's go.
And one of the things I kind of wanted to talk to Grillo about, but whenever we all get together, it's just things go
Oh
crazy.
yeah,
You guys actually got to go to New York and be on Barstool's Wrestling's Indie Corner
yep.
with Brandon. I imagine that was a dope experience.
Dude, incredible. And shout out to Rosario for getting us there, because he had some connections and was able to get us onto the show. But dude, what an incredible experience, man. Just getting to go to Barstool headquarters in Times Square. I'm from PA, obviously, so I've
Mhm.
been to Times Square a lot, but I've never been around the Barstool area. So going in and seeing the office and just seeing how they operate, but not just that, getting a chance to get interviewed by Brandon freaking Walker was so cool. So cool. I was very nervous going into it, but like after talking to him and after hearing him and him joking around with us, I was like, okay, all right, this guy's cool.
Yeah, and it's so funny because the internet wrestling community and wrestling fans, they're all over the place, and some prefer Chris Van Vliet, some prefer Brandon, some prefer Ariel. I personally really like Brandon's kind of laid back, not too serious, like give you as much shit as you give me kind of style.
Yeah.
And I know you guys like that's kind of how you guys are too. So it worked really well. I watched the whole thing, and at the time I wasn't really watching like interviews or podcasts or anything, but obviously I watched the whole entire thing with you guys.
Oh, thanks.
And
But like, just to cut you off for a second,
no, yeah,
it's sort of like how your podcast is. Like, and that's what brings it different, and that's what makes it more enjoyable and gives you the ability to see the wrestler themselves. Is if you're having a back type podcast where you can just talk and not stress about, okay, I have to figure out this answer after they just asked me this question I didn't even think I would be asked. But you just get the chance to chill, lay back, and have some fun.
yeah, and it's so funny, you saying that, that's how this podcast is because I'm not doing it obviously to get rich or to get famous or anything like that. And most people they want to know about the juicy backstage stuff and like, oh, when you were on Dark those few times, were the wrestlers in the back mean to you, or
Yeah.
did like Hangman Adam Page call you a dick or something like that? And to me, like, I I'm not here to, get the behind the scenes exclusive drop. I just want to come on here and just like give you guys the platform to tell your stories, basically.
And I appreciate that, man. And I'm sure every other guest that's been on your show also appreciates that as well. Because again, it gives us the ability to be real.
Mhm.
So I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad it comes across that way too. And I feel like that if you and Grillo were on at the same time again, like we were the first time, I feel like it'd be like a Joe Rogan like 4 hour podcast.
Oh, dude, dude. And it's so easy because like we just talk. We just have a good time.
Yeah, and I'm all about a good time.
Yep.
And speaking of good times, uh, I know how Grillo feels. I know how you feel. I just want to hear you say it. Are you a Sheets guy or are you a Bucky's guy?
Give me 20 seconds.
You got 20 seconds. I'll give you 30 to be fair.
I don't even need it. Let's see what this says.
There you go. Hashtag Team Sheets. That's all you need to
There
know
it
right
is.
there.
That's all you need to know. And to kind of explain my feelings for that, partially I'm biased. Like I'm from the tri-state area. There's Sheets
Yep.
all over there. So I grew up on Sheets, love Sheets. But one thing, because I would give Bucky's a shot, I truthfully would. But one thing that ruins it for me and just puts Sheets miles above Bucky's is the fact that Sheets has more food options than Bucky's. For what reason? You call yourself the biggest gas station in the world. Why can't I order a freaking sub, a custom sub from your gas station? Well, I can do that at Sheets. Or
Valid.
why can't I get a 4 for $4 app sampler at Bucky's? Nope, I can get that at Sheets. It's stupid. And that's why I have beef with that beaver. That damn beaver. If I ever see him again, he's getting drop
That
kicked.
damn beaver.
That damn beaver.
Man, it is so funny because we don't have a Bucky's around here. I've never been to one, but it's just so crazy how people are like, they are either Sheets or they're Bucky's. They're not like, oh, I like Bucky's for this and Sheets for this. It's either Sheets or Bucky's.
Yep.
And like I was telling Grillo, there's a Sheets like a block from my work. I could walk from it.
Of course
So
there is. Of course there
Team
is.
Sheets.
Need something for lunch? Cool. They got you. Need something late night after a night of drinking? Cool. They got you.
You need a little pick me up after being at a show for 2.5 hours and beating the crap out of people.
They got you, brother.
They got you. Maybe we can. Maybe I can send this clip to them and be like, "You guys got a new slogan. We got you.
We got you." You should honestly see what happens. I shot my shot with them. They sent me some cool stuff back.
Oh no shit, that's cool.
Yeah, that's where I got that shirt from, actually.
Oh nice. How did that go?
It was pretty cool. So I had hit them up probably about like 9 to 10 months ago. And I kind of just explained like, hey, like I'm a wrestler, I always grew up on Sheets, love Sheets to death, just to see if maybe there's a small chance where I can get sponsored. And they were like, unfortunately, we're not doing sponsorships at the times, but we would still love you to support us. So they sent me a t-shirt and Grillo a t-shirt. So he has one as well. And they sent us like a whole bunch of stickers, and the shirts were actually wrapped like a sub would be wrapped, like in that little foil with the sticker around it. Dude, it was so cool. And yeah, it kind of just happened randomly. I just shot my shot to see what would happen, and they sent us some cool stuff back.
That's freaking amazing. And the fact that, yeah, I will respect the fact that they weren't doing sponsorships at the time. But when they do get to that point, if you and like Grillo are not like number one, like we've got to DM these guys real quick.
I don't know what else we have to do, man. We're just naturally pushing their stuff. We don't even mean to. It's just that great of a place.
It is. It really is. And I don't see how Sheets is like half the size of Bucky's, but at the same time, it's like 1,000 times better.
Dude, 1,000 times better. And I will say, Bucky's is a cool place. Like if you go inside of Bucky's, they have a whole bunch of stuff, like a whole bunch of snacks, a buttload of drinks. They even have like a little section just for like merch, like t-shirts and onesies and like baby onesies. It's crazy. So I give them that part. But if you're going to be that big of a store, get some more damn food.
I mean, that's got to be like one of their top sellers is just like the made to order food. So it's like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, lean into that a little bit.
No, other people have done it before. So what's making it so difficult?
And, I think they could really benefit too, maybe if like they're not gonna offer like different like or more options, maybe just like take a bunch of the stuff out that no one cares about and just put like a small Waffle House in there or something, or like a Denny's.
Oh, oh, you're a smart man. That would be brilliant.
I'm telling you, and you could just like, if you wanted to, you could like have a little like kiosk or like Sheets has, and just walk up and get your hash brown smothered covered, your T-bone steak and egg, whatever tickles your fancy, and get gas at the same time.
I think that's a great idea because the kitchen itself is about the size of a Waffle House. So if they got the room to do it, why not do it?
Yeah, and I don't know for sure because, like I said, I've never been to Bucky's. But from what I've seen on TikTok, the people that visit Bucky's are about the same demographic that visits Waffle House. I
Yep.
don't know. That's just what I've seen on TikTok. I don't know the facts though.
You're not wrong about that one. And I just want to say, Mr. Beaver, if you ever hear this, we won our royalties for giving you this idea. So I just had to throw that in there, just in case. You never know.
And that's the thing about this podcast, man. I did one with a guy who is a up and coming country singer. This was probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, and he came up with this like fucking phenomenal idea of a fanny pack that holds like 2 or 3 beers, but is also made out of material that's like a small cooler. And so I'm like, I don't even really want to do this podcast anymore because we come up with such good ideas. Somebody's gonna watch it. I'm gonna walk in Walmart and there's gonna be like an
This is
Ozark
going to be on the front
Trail.
shelf right there.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I think I need to start editing some of these clips out.
Or at least, beg for your royalties because they should be giving you royalties. These are your ideas. I've always thought like a little cooler type thing or like a little mini freezer, if they can figure it out, to put in your trunk, would be pretty cool. Stop your ice cream from melting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
The distance away from a store.
Yeah. No, that is a great idea because I think the only thing at this point, the only way you could get that in your car is if you were like on the old MTV show, like Pimp My Ride or something like that. Like that would be the only way you could get something like that. But if you came up with the idea and, patent it and all that, TSF's coolers in your trunk nationwide.
You're right. You know what? I think we need to put me, you, and Grillo in a group chat, and we just need to start these businesses, see if they take off.
I'm down. I did run a grocery store for like 2 years, so I've got a little bit of the business end of things, and I know rule number one: don't spend more than you make. So I mean,
Bingo. I mean, hey, I'm kind of a manager at Olive Garden, sort of, kind of, basically. So that we can bring our ideas together. And John, he has a business degree. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's right there.
yeah, it's like the trios of ideas that are $1 million that no one else has thought of because they're not smart enough.
It's the holy trifecta.
The holy trifecta. I can live with that, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we have gave Sheets the massive plug,
You're welcome.
one of the things, it in the words of TSF, he gets it.
Yep, he absolutely gets it. Tom knows me, man, and he understands that I hate that damn beaver.
Man, I'm like going off on another tangent here. Like, I legitimately want someone to like find their like grand opening, like Bucky's beaver costume, and then like just let you like DDT them into like oblivion.
If anybody wants an instant draw in their promotion, book HotShot Hunter Knott versus the Bucky Beaver. I promise you, Meltzer 5 stars. It'll sell out the gate. It'll be great.
And then you can take the words that you've been saying about Bucky and put it into action.
I absolutely can. He's going to get that ass whooped.
I'll have to talk to some of the board members at ALW and see what we can.
Hey, if you can make that happen, I will be there.
All right. And then I think we can pull some connections. It's like, and I can spin it in a way like, hey, my man's gonna basically murder your beaver,
Mhm.
but it's gonna look really good for you guys.
Everybody's gonna see it, so it's okay because I'll do it in a nice way.
Okay, nice way. All right, cool.
A very nice way. I'm gonna do it so nicely.
So nicely, just like pet him a little bit, Yeah,
Canadian, it's fine.
yep. We'll work it out. We'll work those details out later.
Yeah, that's fair.
The pin post on your Twitter
Mhm,
is something that I absolutely love,
mhm,
and I think it's Outsiders Media did it. It's a basically kind of like a 2.5 minute Hunter Knott documentary, and it's so crazy. I watched it quite a few times because I feel like each time I get something different from it.
mhm.
And just talk a little bit about what that was and how it went down.
So first off, I'm going to shout out the Outsiders Media Group because holy cow, are they amazing?
Yep.
Specifically, a guy named Keith Andrews. He is phenomenal, 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 phenomenal. The way that he made that video look is through the roof. And
Yeah,
he
it
came
was.
to Southern Fried with me later that night, and he was taking a whole bunch of videos of me and stuff like that. So shout out him. And I have a really good feeling he's going to make it very big in this industry. Um, but so to talk about that a little bit, first and foremost, it was tough, man. It was really, really tough because
Mhm.
it's kind of allowing everybody to get a little
Yep.
personal with my inside life. But even though it's my personal life, that's what I'm trying to transpire in the wrestling universe is hopefully I can be that ray of light for people that have gone through something similar or can relate on another type of level that if you put your mind to something, you can really do it. You can really, really do it. If you truly believe in yourself, it takes you such a long way, dude. So to give my story like that, like I said, I'm just trying to inspire other people that are kind of in that same boat that are afraid to go out and take the risk to do something that they love or to do something that they feel like they would genuinely be happy with. To go and take that risk because you can always say that it didn't work out, but if you never do it, you have to sit there and you have to muster on that for the rest of your life. So I encourage people go out and take that risk.
I think that's wonderful, and that's what comes across in the video. And it's like, okay, we see you wrestle, we see your clips, we see the highlights, we see the YouTube videos, but then if you go and watch that 2.5 minute clip and then go and watch one of your matches, singles or tag team, and then it really like ties it together, and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's what I'm trying for, man. Like I said, I would like to transpire this into my wrestling because I just want to be who I am. That's the bottom line of it. I just want to be who I am as a person. And I always said that like I my main goal in life is to give back. So if
Mhm.
I can help somebody in that sort of manner, I mentioned it in the little documentary thing too that I would like to eventually be able to start the Tough Knot Foundation, which helps members of families with addicts in them, kind of get through life financially because nobody
Yep.
really thinks about that. Nobody really thinks about the single mother that has to raise two kids on her own, that's working 40 hours a week, trying her hardest just to keep the lights on. So that I feel like is my main goal, not just in wrestling, but in life.
Yep. Yeah, and I absolutely love that, and I love the fact that you are bringing stuff to light from your situation that people who are not in that situation or maybe uh, haven't dealt with it,
Mhm.
they can take your perspective and then they can put it to them. They can think about it and like, okay, put two and two together. And it's like, okay, this is something I don't deal with and haven't dealt with, but this is a different side of it, and I think it's wonderful.
I appreciate that, man. And like I said, if I can just be that ray of light for somebody, that's all I'm going for.
Tom says your mom is hilarious.
My mom is hilarious. She likes to try to embarrass me on every stream that I do on Twitch. But she's great. I love her to death. I would not be where I am today without her.
That's so funny too because most, I guess, like wrestlers I know, they're like their family is like, "Oh, cool, you wrestle, that's cool." And
Yeah.
it's usually like their girlfriend or their wives is a little more supportive and at every show. And so, your mom hanging out with you and, trying to embarrass you and still engaging with you, I think is amazing also.
Oh, it's great. And I mean, she supported my career choice too. Like as soon as she found out that I wanted to become a wrestler and move across the country to a new state, like away from her, she was all
Mhm.
for it. And you don't, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't in that same situation. So I'm very blessed to be able to have a supportive mother that was like, okay, you know what? Go chase your dreams.
That's amazing. I love it. And I would, I think I even messaged you this, man. Ever since Elon Musk took over, like Grillo and Cat will pop up on my timeline. But like you, like if I want to like find out what you're doing or what you're up to, I have to like search your name. And I'm just like, Elon, my dude, like you're doing this
Yeah.
all wrong.
No, that's totally a thing because it happens with me too, with a lot of people that I engaged a lot with on Twitter before he took over. And then now, kind of as Twitter has changed a little bit since he's taken over, I've noticed that their tweets are a lot less apparent on my feed. So
You gotta
it's
fix
a real thing. It sucks.
it. You gotta fix it, Elon.
Hey, come on, Elon, do better.
One thing I did see though, because there's a person on my that I follow that you guys follow as well, and 90% of the stuff of yours that I see comes from them retweeting it, which to me is just like ass backwards.
Can I take a guess?
Go.
Is it Dr. Scott?
It actually is.
What a
Yeah.
guy. What a guy. I love Dr. Scott to death. He is such a good dude.
One of the most like I've met him once, like actually talked to him, but we talk on Twitter just about every day, and just an amazing human being.
Oh, fantastic human being. He took us to Golden Corral one day on our way to one of the wrestling shows, the DPW shows. And like that enough is saying all you need to know about this man. He's a fantastic dude.
Yeah, you're 1000% right. And he was actually at the Nightmare Factory Live show that I met
Yes, he
you
was.
guys at,
Yes, he was.
and we were in the same building but never interacted.
Mhm.
And that show and me posting it on Twitter and stuff, that's how we found each other.
Mhm.
And so there was so much about that Nightmare Factory Live show that like I just like it's so lame, but I still have pictures on my phone. I still have videos on my phone, and
Heck yeah.
I've probably deleted 3,000 pictures and videos between now and then. But I mean, that night was just so special in a
It,
lot of ways.
it was a really fun night because it was the first time since at least I've been there that the factory went out and like did these indie shows with a whole bunch of the students and all that.
Mhm.
And it was cool just being there with everybody that I knew because they're all my friends. So it was a really fun environment.
Yeah, and I'll never forget you, Grillo, and Backlund all
Yep.
just literally mid match sitting in chairs popping Skittles. As long as I have a memory, I'll never forget it.
It, dude, we were hungry. What can we say? We wanted some Skittles.
Are you the Skittle freaks too, or
So I'm really not the Skittle freak. I'm more of an M&M guy, to be honest.
plain M&M or peanut M&M? There's a lot riding on this question.
Can I say both?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow
Okay.
it.
I don't like I love them both. I don't disrespect one more than the other, is what I should try to say.
What about Reese's? Are you regular or are you white chocolate?
Dude, regular Reese's all day of the week. I actually bought from the store today. The Reese's brand, if you didn't know, dropped like a line of ice cream, like two things of like actual ice cream and like the products. Like one of them was Reese's drumsticks, like the cones, but like totally Reese's brand, like nothing to do with drumsticks. And they also released little ice cream sandwiches that I got today that have like the chocolate cake on the outside and like the peanut butter ice cream on the inside. So I'm excited to try that.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know how it is. I've got to get run to Walmart tomorrow and pick up some food for the cat because he's fat, and so I might have to look for those too.
Yeah, dude, definitely look for them. I think they do sell them at Walmart, but that's totally what I'm doing after this podcast too. I'm going to go to the freezer and devour one in probably less than 30 seconds.
Oh man, and the last thing I kind of wanted to bring up because it is one of one of the few tweets of yours I seen. Your poor little red Honda, man.
What a sad day. What a sad, sad day. And it was actually in that documentary that we were just talking about.
Yeah, it's like the first thing like pulls up.
So I'm glad I got to highlight her before she passed away. But yeah, dude, that was my first car that I ever got.
Yeah.
So for me to put like over 100,000 miles on it, and for it to get me from PA to Georgia, back to PA, back to Georgia, back to PA, back to Georgia, so many times, and just the memories I had in it, because it was my high school car, so all my friends would always take my car
Yep.
to go do stuff. It was a sad day. But with that being said, it is very nice being in something a little more reliable now, which gives me the ability to go to a lot more shows outside of Georgia. Um, so I'm very, very excited for that. Very, very excited to be on the highway and not worry about a tire falling off or anything along those lines. So it comes with its benefits. But I did know deep down that it was getting about time.
Oh, I got you. The kind of the writing was on the wall, kind of.
Yeah, I just didn't expect it to be that soon, but it happened, and it probably needed to happen.
I fully understand, and it was just like a poster that it was just like the car in like the gas station parking lot, and I was
Yep.
like, not the
That's
red
exactly how it
Honda.
happened. I was literally pumping gas, and after I got done pumping gas, I turned my car on and I went to put it in drive, and it just wouldn't drive. And then I put it in park, and it just started going. So in the line of work that you do, you could probably assume what that is:
Yep,
the transmission. And
yep,
for my car being as old as it was and the amount of problems that it already had, it was just time for a new one.
yeah, yeah. Just don't want to, probably dump more into the car than unfortunately she was worth.
Yeah,
She was worth her weight in memories. We'll say
she
that.
was. She did her job, so that's all I can ask.
And I wasn't gonna ask this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. So, who is your favorite person at the Nightmare Factory? But the obviouses are off the table, like
So no Grillo, no Trip.
no
Okay.
cat.
Okay. Not my girlfriend.
Yeah, that one off the table.
So I am going to say Hayden freaking Backlund,
That is a phenomenal answer.
because he has so much potential and he's going to do such great things in this business that if you guys haven't seen his work recently, please go check out his Twitter, see what he's doing. He is hilarious. He is a very charismatic guy as well, which is great. But he's just such a good wrestler. And it's only a matter of time before people really start to catch on to that and you see him freaking skyrocket. So, and it may be a little biased because he was in our class as well, factory. But yeah, he's just a good dude, and I think he's going to do really, really big things in wrestling.
I love it. I love it. I couldn't ask for a better answer there.
I mean, I have a
And,
few like Carly Bravo, obviously,
yep.
Brooke Havoc. You got those people doing their things and freaking doing those things greatly. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Hayden is a hidden gem that's about to be exposed.
I love it. I love that answer too because I definitely agree with you. I definitely think it's just he's just like one match or just like
Mhm.
one like solid promo away from
Yep, I
hitting a
agree.
stratosphere basically.
I agree.
And now I will let you plug yourself, plug your Twitch, Twitter, whatever you want to plug. Plug it away, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HKnott12, HKNOTT12. You can find me on Twitch as well at twitch.tv/HotShotHK. YouTube, Hotshot Hunter Knott. I try my best to post semi-consistent content to keep everybody entertained. It's been a little slower these past 2 months just because moving in the car and everything else that's going on kind of just crumbled everything.
Yeah.
But I'm slowly getting back into the pace of things. So yeah, if y'all want to follow me, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I think everyone should follow you because, like I told Grillo, I truly believe this in my heart. It's absolutely criminal that you guys don't have like 10,000 fucking followers.
I appreciate that, man. And that's the goal. And that's what we've really, really been working at. So hopefully soon, one day that can happen.
Hopefully one day that maybe if like Sheets endorsed you or if like sponsored you or something. I don't know.
I mean, that'd be a huge help. I mean, blush sheets, please sponsor us.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it'll happen.
All right. As always, Hunter, I really appreciate you taking the time. It's always a good time, man.
Of course,
And
man. Thank you for having me again. It was a blast. Like I said before, I love being on your podcast because it's so laid back. We just have a good time and we chat.
that's it, man. That's the name of the game there. And I really appreciate you taking out the time. I appreciate everyone that hopped in, everyone that left a comment, even before the show started.
Tom,
And yeah, my
let's
man
get
Tom hopping in there right in, right in there before we sign off. Best show. That's going to do it. I really appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we will see you on the next episode of Over the Top Rope.